The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
Welcome to the music news for the streets. I'm your anchorman, SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. And in today's newscast, we have all kinds of exciting stories from 7 freebies for you guys today. Looks like Akai has some new news for us. But our top story today comes from Arturia. It looks like Arturia has given us a free version of Analog Labs called Analog Labs Play. Let's go ahead and take a look. So as we open up FL Studio, I'm sorry, but I have the pro version of Analog Labs, but with this free version, they are gonna give us 100 different presets, and I've got some of the presets pulled up for you guys to hear. When you open it up, it is going to look like this. As we see here, it looks like they have changed the interface for all of the sounds, and underneath you are going to get to mess with some of the sounds as you could previously. So with each preset, it's going to have different effects that you can affect here. I have a little loop put together so you guys can kind of hear what some of these sounds sound like. It's not a full beat, it's just 6 of the sounds, but they sound like this. So as you can see there, you're gonna get some high quality sounds in this plugin. I'm gonna go ahead and hop back over here so we can just check out some of these sounds individually. All right, so the first sound we're gonna check out is gonna be this American Home Grand Piano. It sounds like this. So with this, you get to control the brightness, the timbre, the dynamics, the width, EQ right here, chorus, you get a daisy volume and you get reverb as well. I'm just gonna mess with some of the controls on this one only. So that's pretty solid right there. You're also gonna get some strings. Some leads. You get some 808s with this thing. You're gonna get some choir effects too as well. You get classic Juno keys right here. And then you're also gonna get this fire electric piano as well. So again, there's gonna be 100 presets in all in this thing. I would definitely recommend going to grab this because you might be able to get some kind of cross grade in the future as well if you own this. All right, guys, and our second story today comes from Akai Multimedia and Audio Plugin Deals. It looks like they are giving away a free copy of the Whirly Model 120. Let's go ahead and check out the story. So as we see here, introducing the Whirly Model 120, a portable electric piano by Akai Multimedia. The Whirly Model 120 is based off the Wurlitzer Model 120 portable electric piano from the 1950s, one of the earliest electric pianos to find its way into pop music charts. Let's go ahead and open up FL Studio and check this thing out in action. So this thing right here can be loaded up into Sample Tank 4. No worries, you can get the free version of Sample Tank, the CS version, and you'll get a bunch of other sounds in there as well, from pianos to guitars to all kinds of different stuff. One of the presets of the Whirly Model 120 sounds like this. So that one right there is probably my favorite preset of them all. Let's go ahead and open up another preset so we can check this thing out a little further. So here's some more presets. So as you see here, you're gonna get a bunch of different effects that you can jump under the hood and mess with. You get all kinds of different controls that you can mess with Sample Tank 4. So that's another positive too as well. As you see here, you just get a whole bunch of stuff that you get to mess with, you know, to get underneath the hood and to really trick this thing out and make it sound how you wanna make it sound. In breaking news, it looks like Akai has just made Grossbeat, Shaperbox, Infiltrator, FlexBeat available for the standalone version of the MPC. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So as we see here, this is what FlexBeat looks like. It is similar to all those other plugins as far as you can draw different LFOs and make some crazy effects on whatever sounds that you are using. What's nice about this one though is that you can play each one of the effects out in the pad. That is a very nice feature. It says here, FlexBeat, created by pioneers of beat-based music production. Akai Pro is your ultimate toolkit for powerful beat manipulation and sound design, as you would expect from a brand that is such a heritage in the world of music creation. Let's go ahead and take a look here at their sample video so you can kind of get a better feel of it in case you've never seen it before.
Welcome to this overview of the brand new effects plugin for MPC standalone, FlexBeat. FlexBeat brings an outstanding collection of creative rhythmic effects patterns to MPC, allowing you to manipulate your beats, melodies, and samples in real time, giving you even more power completely standalone. With 16 performance pads and hundreds of preset effects patterns, FlexBeat is the perfect plugin for today's modern vibe, delivering creative effects such as stutter, glitch effects, DJ scratch effects, through to pitch drops, transitions, and vinyl breaks.
All right, so as you guys can see there, you can do a whole lot with this plugin. Note to Akai, next time you do a talkover though, maybe you should turn the beat down just a little bit so the vocal comes to a little bit more and it's a little more clearer. If you do want a full demonstration on this though, go ahead and check out Ab McCree's channel. He did a full demo on it today, and you guys can really see what this plugin can do. Up next, I've got a couple more freebies for you guys today. The next freebie comes from New Nation Audio, and it is called Cowboy Harp. When you check out Cowboy Harp, it is going to look like this. It only has a few presets, but this is basically going to give you that old school sound of any old Western movie or anything like that, in case you want to make some old school cowboy trap. I didn't even know that was a genre. Maybe it's going to be one now. But when you play it, it's going to sound like this. Look, I'm not even going to hold y'all. I didn't even know I needed this instrument in my life until I got it. And then I started messing with it and I was like, yeah, we're definitely going to make something with this. So I'll go ahead and play a few of the presets for you. You'll see down here, you get a few different effects down here. So you can turn on two different harps at the same time. You get delay, reverb, dimension. So let's go ahead and I guess we'll start with the next preset. We'll go with this basic jaw harp. So as you guys see there, you could probably make some fire with this. It's a pretty simple plugin. It only has the two different harp sounds, but you can mix them together. You can add some effects to make them sound a little bit different. The next freebie I have for you guys today is an update to an old classic. It's a remake by bedroom producer blog and sample science. It's called Cassette Drums. So when you open up Cassette Drums, it is going to look like this. Obviously, this looks a little bit different than the previous version. The previous version I did put in my top free drum plugins. They've added some new kits. They've added some new effects. So now you have control over vinyl tape, modulation, amplitude range, filter, obviously over your main pan and volume. And then you have control over panning and volume of each one of the different drum hits. You can tune the drums as well. And then you have control over decay, distortion, delay, reverb, and then subharmonics down here. So this is what this thing sounds like. I'm gonna play it with the piano from Analog Labs just so it has some kind of backing noise with it. So it sounds pretty nice. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn on some vinyl, some tape, and some of this other stuff just so you can hear what it sounds like with some of these other effects, including distortion down here as well. So as you guys can tell there, you can do a whole lot with this plugin to get your drums to sound a little bit different. You can add that distortion on there to get them to sound a little bit crunchier. You can add that reverb on there to widen them out. Obviously the tape and the vinyl effect will do a lot too as well. I'm gonna go ahead and play a few more kits real quick just so you guys can kind of hear what they sound like. So that's what some of the kits sound like. The one thing that I wish that they would have done was made the hi-hats the same on every kit, made the snare the same on every kit. So whether it's gonna be like, you know, like a B or C or G or whatever it is, the note is in your piano roll, I wish they would make it the same so it's easier to cycle through the kits without having to start moving stuff up and down and stuff, so on and so forth in the piano roll. And our next story today comes from Audiomodern. It looks like they've just dropped a brand new plugin called Freezr. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. So as we see here, they tell us create and experiment with complex rhythmic movement. Freezr is designed to capture, manipulate, and sequence audio in an innovative and expressive way. Freeze segments of an audio in real time and arrange these frozen audio slices into structured musical composition. The creative possibilities are virtually limitless. So in case you didn't know, I just completed a review on this plugin. Basically, it makes some really dope stutters. And you can make the stutters in unique ways by drawing them into sequence. It's super solid. Let's go ahead and hop into FL Studio and check this thing out. So when you open up Freezr, it is going to look like this. Now, as you see here, I'm not going to go through this all in depth. I've made a video on this, so I'll go ahead and link that with the card in the corner for you guys. But with this, you can basically draw how many stutters that you want. So you can go up to 12. You can sequence this thing in all kinds of different crazy ways. So you can make it go up to 64 steps of sequence. You can make it go 16 steps. You can make it basically go on whatever time division that you want. So you can make this go faster, you can make it go slower. You have a randomize button, so you can randomize the sequences and everything right here. You have this infinite button right here, and the infinite button will change the way the stutters go every time. So it'll randomize it and it'll give you different stutters every time. I made a little sample beat for the demonstration yesterday. As you see here, I have a bunch of different freezers automated here. So every time that you hear the beat stutter up, it's basically going to be Freezr adding those stutters. And you can use this for change up, vocal chops, for drums, all kinds of stuff. But it sounds like this in action. So as you could hear there, like you can get it to stutter from left to right. So with the drums at the end, if you noticed, I got the drums to stutter in the left ear first and then the right ear second. You could do a whole bunch of fire stuff with this. Again, I did a full demonstration with this. I'll leave the card in the corner. The intro price of this is currently $20 for the desktop version, $10 for the iOS app. But if you purchase anything throughout the month of November from Audiomodern, you can get this plugin for free. Next up for you guys today, I have another new plugin. This one comes from my guys over at Patent Sound. It's called Ghost. So if you look here, they say it has 186 factory presets plus more. There are 88 unique sounds, samples, and 186 factory presets, plus the ability to mix and max and make your own. So let's go ahead and check this thing out in action. As we open up FL Studio, it is going to look like this. Now with Ghost, you basically have two different layers. So as you see here, you can click on here and pick any of these sounds and layer it with this sound over here. You have this chain right here in the middle, and this is basically what blends the sound in together. As we look here, you have pan, gain, stereo width, pitch, fine tune, and wobble. Underneath that, you have a filter effect. Over here in your global controls, you have reverb, you have delay, and then you also have an EQ. So as you see here, the EQ works super easily. You can add as many nodes as you want to, or I believe it's up to 8 nodes, but I could be wrong. And then over here, you have the same controls as you have over here. I made a little sample beat with this so you guys can kind of hear what it sounds like. All the sounds that I use from this are from Ghost. And then the kicks and everything that I use, the snare and the hi-hats come from a free pack from Patented Sounds as well. So all the sounds in this beat come from Patented Sounds. It's not all the way mixed down, but let's go. All right, guys, so that's the sample beat that I have for you guys today. Let's go ahead and hop back into Ghost and check out some of these presets for you guys. So we're just gonna go through some presets at random. So let's go ahead and we'll start over here with the keys since I have some chords pulled up. We'll start with this retro lo-fi. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play some of the basses for you because it comes with basses too. I will say this, that my two cons of this plugin are that not all the basses are correct. So it's like, I wish all my lowest basses that I could play would all be on the same key instead of having to go up or down an octave as I'm scrolling through them. And then the other thing is that I would like a few more original presets because it's $31, which is a great value price. But I feel like most of the presets are just the other presets blended together. But the sounds that they do have, I do think are nice. For $31 though, this isn't a bad bargain. But this is what some of the basses sound like. See, that's what I mean. Like all the low end basses, they don't necessarily all, they're not all in the same key register, if that makes sense. So, you know, as these are in D3 for the 808s before that, I got to go up, and, you know, it just takes time, just the little things. But there are some quality sounds. That's a nice bass right there. We'll go ahead and get back into this just so we can hear a few more basses for you guys. So you just can check it out. So not a bad plugin at all for only $31, not that bad at all. I'll definitely leave the link below in the description for this one as well. And our last story today is 3 freebies. It looks like Baby Audio has acquired Denise Audio. In celebration of that acquisition, Denise Audio is releasing 3 plugins for free. So they're giving away Bad Tape, My Crush, and Slappy. Let's go ahead and check those out. So as we see here, Bad Tape is basically a tape effect. So I threw it on that Whirly 120 and we're gonna check it out on that to see what it sounds like. So that's what the Whirly 120 sounded like without the Bad Tape on there. Now, once we throw the Bad Tape on there, we can get it to sound like this. So pretty solid in my opinion. With this, you can do a whole bunch with that as well. So you can mess with the wow, the shake, the hiss, the harm, saturation, color, output, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of go through them real quick so you can hear what they sound like. I'm not gonna stop, I'm just gonna keep going from each effect to each effect. So as you see there, that's pretty solid. You can definitely get some funky tape effects with this. It is a little bit different than other tape effects in my opinion, just because of the way that it makes it sound. I'm also gonna play it on some drums because this can definitely get you some crunch on your drums. So let me go ahead and turn all these drums on. The drums basically sound like this without Bad Tape on them. All right, now once we throw Bad Tape on there, we can get them to sound like this. So as you guys see there, you can definitely get the drums to sound more crunchy. You can mess with all these effects as well and do a whole bunch with them, but it does give it that feel like it is going through some analog tape. Then up next, I have My Crush. So when you look at My Crush, it is going to look like this. It is a bit crusher. I'm just gonna play it on an 808 so you guys can kind of hear what it's doing. So here's what the 808 sounds like without My Crush playing. Now, once we turn My Crush on, I'm gonna go ahead and just blend it in so you can hear what it sounds like. So it has this over here where you can put a stutter on it, and if you hold this down, you can automate the stutter. So you can hear how it's stuttering that effect in there. You can mess with the time on that as well. So that's pretty solid. You have this over here, Smile. So you have different kinds of bit crushing that you can use. So we'll go ahead and go through these. The fact that this one's called Devil's Horns and has what is apparently devil horns in it, that's kind of funny, not funny. But we're gonna go ahead and put this back on Smile, and then we'll just go ahead and mess with this reduce down here in this resample so you can hear what they sound like. Obviously they have filters here as well. So it's not a bad bit crusher in my opinion. You can definitely do a lot with this. It's more than just pushing 8-bit or 16-bit to get a sound. You can actually dial in a super solid distortion or bit crusher sound with this. The last one that I have for you guys today is called Slappy, and this one is a slapback reverb. I'm just basically gonna play this one on a snare so you guys can hear what it sounds like on a snare. With this, what's solid about this one is that you can basically control the frequency of the delay. So you can, put a high pass filter on it, a low pass filter on it. You can add some saturation and you can control the feedback. So, obviously it's a snare, but this is the snare that I used. So now I'm gonna go ahead and push play and then just slide this mix in here. So then here's what that snare sounded like in the beat with everything else playing. But let's just go ahead and hear what it sounds like as we turn the high pass and the low pass filter up and down. So that's pretty solid. As you see, you can definitely change up the sound of the delay. Let's listen to this feedback here real quick. And time obviously is just the time of the delay. So that's pretty solid. One thing that you could use this on that would be really nice is if you basically exported the sample, then put a filter on there and then just kind of use it as some Foley and a beat. definitely would be a good tool to use. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope I could help you guys out in this newscast. Definitely some fire freebies. If you grab anything, go and grab that Analog Lab Play. Definitely very solid. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a video, you can be the first to see. Signing off as your anchorman, SumnSumnSumn, hit the keys. Until next time, peace.
Some, hit the keys.